episode for higher GC News. Mima Obibia Akwaba had the latest hot enamede Bramo. And until so you subscribe to channel idea, Bomodia say over subscribe. The way I say over click the subscribe button, you know. Now what barely notification. We answer video for be upload when the first person once Ebeka a video. Afi we are now what like video no give us a thumbs up now fi share my for so that when you be here now we and somewhere also Ghana memo hadum. Afi yimbura ye semwa abeto yepono so yinkuti report here about to mama yiti ansem
ill-timed and all. This Mr. Kojo Kyeremanteng. You understand? Clear. Then there's Boakye Agyarko, who is saying that this thank you tour really has veered off the original objective. And for him, the original objective was to reset and energize the party base. And he says that they should stop it, come back and rethink and replan. You understand? That's Mr. Boakye Agyarko. And there have been so many other comments. Now there's something very, very significant. This tour was designed to give the impression of unity. And that is why they brought Dr. Bawumia to lead it and to be flanked by all others who contested him for the presidential candidature of the party. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, Kennedy Agyapong has decided to completely withdraw from this program. That's a huge dent. You understand? He's decided to withdraw completely from this program. Is it not necessary for him to withdraw from the thank you tour so he can participate in the demonstration?
Energy levels.
Oh, so it's about energy levels. Is that what you're saying? Energy levels. Is that the reason?
Which is nice.
Okay. Nanabi, the loudest advocate for the demonstration is still on the thank you tour. He hasn't withdrawn. Something must be amiss. You understand? Something must be amiss. Now, for me, within the party, and I'm not the one raising this, many issues were raised about this thank you tour, even before it took off. And one of the issues which was raised was actually raised by party workers, people who work in the party headquarters. And these people, if you follow them on social media, what are they saying? They're saying that, look, we have been working for 3 long months without pay. Nobody cares about how we are able to pay for transportation to go to work and go back home. Nobody cares about what we are eating and so on. And yet, you, the leaders, have found resources to go on a useless thank you tour. This is from the party itself, from the workers of the party. I'm not the one saying it. Now, does that make sense? The people who work for the party workers, are saying that, look, you're going to burn resources on this thank you tour, when for 3 months, we haven't been paid and nobody cares about our welfare. That's interesting. And this is coming from the inside the party. The workers of the party are those who are speaking like this. But you see, one of the important things about this thank you tour was raised by Mr. Boakye Agyarko. And Mr. Boakye Agyarko's concern, and it's been his concern for a long time, is that there appears to be a departure from the core principles of the party. And that it is important for this party to reset, to revisit the very core principles of the party. Now, I'm not surprised that some things are happening in this party. Because those who today are parading themselves as leaders and heavyweights in the party don't even know the history of the party. They don't know how this party came into being. You understand? Some of them are people who have jumped onto the bandwagon because the party platform provides them an opportunity for becoming big men and rich men. You understand? And in jumping on the bandwagon, they are not even worried about the party's history. They don't want to know the party's history. They don't want to know. I mean, it has become a center for opportunistic pursuits. I mean, they didn't have anything beyond a commitment to challenge the existing order and to build the basis for the emergence of a political party. You know, many of those who became leaders and so on were not involved at all in this exercise. And to be honest with you, the only person who played a role, background role, who assisted and so on, was Mr. Richard Annan. Dr. Richard Annan was the only person, and this is the history. You understand? Of course, we also were directly involved in the establishment of what became known as the Kwame Nkrumah Welfare Society, which became the nucleus, like the Danko Buzia Club, became the nucleus for the emergence of an Nkrumahist party. That was the Kwame Nkrumah Welfare Society, which was spearheaded by someone like Mr. Kojo Kyeremanteng and so on. Now, it should interest you that we were also at the same time involved in what became known as the Our Heritage Club, which eventually manifested in the People's Heritage Party. Now, I'm saying all this because today when I talk about the role that I played in the emergence of the new patriotic party, people say, but what was Al Nkrumah doing there? You understand? It was a strategy to begin to build political parties, to encourage different political orientations to come together to form the nucleus of political parties for a future political contest. And that's why we did what we had to do. Now, we always organize thank you tours after elections. That is a lie. It is not true. Yes, some activity called thank you tours have been organized, but they are substantially different from this thank you tour which is being organized. Because in the past, it was the campaign team of the presidential candidate which organized thank you tours. Nana lost elections twice. He still went on the thank you tour, organized by his campaign team and not the party leadership. That's the difference. This campaign tour which is being organized is being organized not by the campaign team of Dr. Bawumia, but by the party. Okay? And that is the difference. Now, it is important to notice or to recognize, see, that the leader of the New Patriotic Party as of today is not Dr. Bawumia. The leader of the New Patriotic Party is Mr. Stephen Ntim, the national chairman. Okay? So if they organize a program and they say that it is being led by Dr. Bawumia, how is it being led by Dr. Bawumia? They are saying that he is the one who has to go out and thank people because he is the one who lost the elections. He led them to lose the elections. Wow. So they're actually going out there to thank people for voting against them. They're actually going there, telling us that they're actually going out there to thank people for giving them the worst performance in the history of the New Patriotic Party. I don't understand. You know, I said, no, we are not thanking all Ghanaians.
No, people within the NPP.
We are thanking only those within the New Patriotic Party who voted for us. So what are you doing to the vast majority of people who voted against you? Because your performance was horrible. Vast majority voted against you. Now, if you are going on a tour to focus attention on that small group of people who gave you only 88 seats in parliament, what kind of political strategy is that? Is that the way of re-energizing to win the next elections? You are focusing on the people who gave you 88 seats out of 276, I suppose.
Yes.
And that's a strategy, sensible strategy for winning the next elections? I can't believe it. But that's the message they're putting out. Now, you see, one of the disasters which is clear from this thank you tour is simply this. They set up a Mike Okwe committee to find out why they lost the elections and to make recommendations for reorganization, for re-strategizing, for whatever, to position them to win the next elections. That's what they are telling us. Now, interestingly, after Michael Okwe's committee has finished its work, the party, the New Patriotic Party, has told us that all the work they did is in only one copy of a report, and that there's only one copy, single one copy of the report, and that nobody else, they are hiding what they claim to be the coalition of views from party members. The party members who express those views in the report are not entitled to see their own views. I can't understand it.
OPK has complained bitterly about it.
I can't understand. You say these are the views of the party people, and yet the party people who express those views cannot see their own views. I cannot understand it, but they understand it. Okay, no problem. They understand it. But see, somehow, some people, maybe mischievous people, maybe clever people, maybe some people who have access to the report somehow, because somebody typed the report.
This is AI.
Yeah,
somebody bound the report into a book and so on. So maybe there are some people who have some of the reports. So we are reading on social media and the newspapers what is alleged to be in the report. So there's a famous page 116. So once in a while you go on social media and say, this is what page 116 of the report says, and then they put it there, bam, and then we read it. And then we are wondering, could this be true or not true? And then somebody else can say, this is page 12 of the report, and then they put it there, bam. And then you read it, and you're not sure. My brother, the thank you tour has come to confirm everything which has been put out. The thank you tour. Because what they are saying on the thank you tour is the same as those snipers which have been put on social media and the newspapers. The same. No change.
The Agyapong book was like that. So maybe there's a...
So this thank you tour has actually come to confirm that what they are denying as contents of the report are true. I watched the vice president, I think it was when he went to the Brown region, you know. And Senna, I was shocked. I was surprised. He said so many things about why they lost the elections. But the classic one, oh, Jesus Christ. This is the vice president. He says, he cannot imagine what was wrong with his own government. a government in which he was the number 2 person. Says, what? I can't imagine what was wrong with this government that I was vice president of. That 3 days to an election, they increased the price of petroleum products. And he said that when he heard it, he was convinced that it was not true. When the vice president heard that petroleum prices had been increased, he thought it was a lie. It wasn't true. How can it be true? Somebody is playing a trick on us. And then later, he found out that true, they had increased the price of petroleum products 3 days to an election. Wow, what a vice president. So maybe I heard about the increase before him. So I heard about the increase before the vice. It's possible. He probably was on his campaign tour and he asked the driver to open the radio small. And then they opened the radio and then he heard about the increase in petroleum price. He said, who has done this? Now, interestingly, this was the head of the economic management team. So, what kind of vice president was this? So, who was making the decisions? The Minister of Finance, the President, the Chief of Staff? And they didn't even bother to let him know. He was on the campaign trail when, by accident. You understand? They are telling us. And then, look, those who are attacking Kennedy Agyapong, I think they get it wrong. And I mean it, they get it wrong. What has he done which other people in the party have not done? Tell me what Agyapong has done in this party which other people have not done. Why? What language has he used which has not been used before in this party? Tell me. Why single him out? That is what everybody is doing. And he feels bitter. And I heard him on one of the thank you tours talking about how much he put into the campaign. If it's a lie, come and say that he's lying. And that you put more than him. You understand what I'm saying?
When you say it's lying.
Oh, but he should come and show us, how it's a lie and how much he put in and so on. But he says that, look, that there are some people in the party who think that they are courageous, they are bold, they can speak their mind. Poor people like that. And that even the rich people, they say they can't talk. And here for Musa, wow, interesting. Very interesting. I thought that the New Patriotic Party was a party which wanted to give the opportunity to all Ghanaians, irrespective of their social standing, their economic standing and so on, to advance and to express themselves, believe in the rule of law and so on. Now it's becoming clear that if you are not a Sigafo, nobody should stop them. Let them go and do the demonstration. At the end of this demonstration, they will see their smoothness level. You understand? They want to mobilize. Mobilize to show that the public is with them and so on. Let them do it and succeed. A party which has not been able to pay its workers for 3 months. A party in which the leaders are at each other's throats. A party which is being divided between the rich and the poor and so on. Is this the party to organize any meaningful demonstration? To show strength? What strength? Have you passed the party headquarters recently? Completely abandoned. It's a ghost town. You understand? Ghost town. So they want to organize a demonstration. Oh, very good. Go ahead and organize a demonstration. Go ahead, do your placards and so on. Organize a demonstration. The right to organize demonstrations in Ghana is unfettered in the 1992 Constitution. There are no constraints. So let them organize their demonstration, encourage them to organize the demonstration. But I think it's important also to let the organizers know and understand that if the numbers don't turn up, they will not be allowed to use any reckless actions in order to attract attention. Because usually when numbers don't turn up, organizers then decide to cause confusion, in order to attract attention. So everybody must abide by the law. The police must abide by the law. The organizer of the demonstration must abide by the law. The courts must abide by the law. Everybody must abide by the law. That's basic. So, if they come and tell you to go and organize a demonstration, and they tell you to go and do something unlawful on the demonstration, bear in mind that when you are arrested, you will be arrested alone. You face the consequences alone by yourself. So you want to demonstrate in support of the Chief Justice, and I don't know why anybody should demonstrate in the support of the Chief Justice.
Judicial independence.
My brother, I didn't expect this from somebody like you. And you know what I mean. What is this judicial independence? Are you saying that because of this nebulous concept of judicial independence, if you become a Chief Justice, you can do anything you like?
No.
You can't.
No.
The Constitution says that yes, you can become a Chief Justice. You have security of tenure and everything. But it doesn't mean that as Chief Justice you can commit murder. And when you commit murder, nothing will happen to you.
She hasn't.
It says that as Chief Justice, if you break the law, this is the procedure to follow to deal with you. That's the Constitution. I mean, this is the first time in my recent life that I'm hearing of a political party planning to organize a demonstration to tell the president not to follow the provisions of the Constitution. Unbelievable. But you see, it's allowed. If you wake up today and you see the image of President John Dramani Mahama on your television set, discretionary power shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair and candid. Take note of that. A duty to be fair and candid. The exercise of the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, either by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike, and shall be in accordance with due process of law. And C, where the person or authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument or statutory instrument regulations that are not inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution or that other law to govern the exercise of the discretionary power. This is what they are dwelling on.
2966C.
But listen.
The regulations that are not inconsistent.
Yeah.
With the provisions of the Constitution.
But listen. It is clear that even 296C makes exceptions. It doesn't say that anytime there's going to be the use of discretionary power, there has to be a legislative instrument. Because it says where the person exercising the authority is not a judge or other judicial officer, there shall be published by constitutional instrument. So it makes exceptions. Okay? But that is not all. What is this article in the Constitution, the whole article, seeking to achieve? It is seeking to avoid a case where the discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, or biased, either by resentment, prejudice, or personal dislike. These are the operative words. Now, if you look at 146, what does it do? 146 says that somebody must present a petition to the president.
It's procedure.
That petition is taken to a council, the Council of State. How can personal hatred and dislike be exhibited in this process? Show me. So the Council of State then determines that a prima facie case has been established. Where is the capriciousness in this? And then on the basis of that, the president is advised to establish the 5-member committee. Not the president himself, 5-member committee to go into the matter. And he says that 2 members of the 5-member committee shall be judges. And 3 members shall be chosen from the general. So how does 296 apply? Because Article 146 itself ensures that the exercise of that discretionary power is not arbitrary, it's not capricious, it's not based on one person's hatred for another. And mind you, what are we talking about when we're talking about the Council of State? You are talking about a body composed of representatives of all the 16 regions. You are talking about a body today which includes a former Chief Justice. A former Chief Justice is sitting on the Council of State. We are talking about a body on which sits senior advocates of the bar. Look, everybody must abide by the provisions of Article 146. They didn't mention 296. The first statement says we should all abide by the provisions of Article 146, all of us, and so on. And that we should allow the law to work. We shouldn't depart from the law. Follow the law strictly, and so on. Wow. Ghana Bar Association, maybe there's some merit. A couple of days later, the public relations officer of the Ghana Bar Association then comes out and says, the Bar Association is surprised that lawyers are commenting on the case before a judge for determination, and that it is prejudicial. This is the Ghana Bar Association. Okay? Then they come back and say, now everybody should get a copy of the petition and the Chief Justice's response. And that even the decision and the processes leading to the decision of the Council of State should also be published, so that there's a public debate. Where is the consistency? What? Ghana Bar Association. What is this? Where is the consistency? And then they come up again and issue another statement and say they are waiting for the president. If he doesn't do what they want, they are going to go to court. Go to court for what? They're going to go to court. You understand? And I don't know. These people, the New Patriotic Party, the Ghana Bar Association and so on, they are destroying the Chief Justice on suspension. They are destroying her reputation completely. You understand? Now the public perception is that, hey, so this Chief Justice all the time was like that. You know what I mean? Was like that. Why are you worrying this poor woman? All her lawyers are NPP stalwarts. Everything about her defense is NPP and so on. What message are you sending? What signal are you sending? In any case, where we are now, there is nothing which makes it clear that this 5-member committee will find anything against her. It is possible that she may be cleared. It is possible that at the end of the day she will be impeached. I don't know how it's going to go. You understand? But what these shops are doing is to create the impression Lante, she was not a woman, she was a man. What is this? My brothers, don't waste time. Mobilize and go on your demonstration. We are waiting for you. Go on your demonstration. What is this?
Rest. And so we have done something right. We must clap for ourselves. They have acknowledged that indeed what we were saying, some of us were saying. While we were in the NPP, I said some of it. I came on your platform where they goofed, I said it. But you know, our democracy has not grown to that level. If you belong to the NDC, everything about the NDC is right. If you belong to the NPP, even when it's so clear that it's wrong, they know it's right, because say you must defend us. Are you okay? Calling them out even gives your party votes. People will know that there are dissenting views. But it is not common with our party. Speak against the party and you become the enemy of the party. We are all hero worshipping. And that is why people take us for a ride. I remember after the elections of 2024, one of the reasons why my own friend Ras Mubarak has been having problem with Mr. Pratt. Mr. Pratt, you remember? We had gone on a TV3 show. And those of you who do not know why Ras Mubarak has been attacking Mr. Pratt, you must go back and play it. Nominations were trickling in. And we were asked to make comments about the nominations. This man said everything the president that was so perfect. I said, come on. It cannot be. The president, for Christ's sake, is a human being like you and I. He breathes air, blood. Everything cannot be perfect. The cocoa pie says that attacks upon attacks. So we must learn to accommodate constructive criticism. To go and stand on a campaign platform and tell the people of this country that the Ghanaians said no, yet we did it. Then you are blaming yourself. Say, I did it. Say, I caused the party. Nobody did that. At least Upon Koma has made us aware that you were part of the E11 from day one to the last day. Yes, but you see, conveniently, he tries to disassociate himself from the things, the very things that led the party into opposition. How can a mate, how can a mate be in a car and you not be aware that the driver is collecting levy? This is serious. But that is what the party has been treated to. Unfortunately, the people of this country, some of them love some of these rhetorics. But we will try and point it out to them. The New Patriotic Party was a party that believed in intellectual discourse, dissenting views, opinions. Ever since President Akufo Addo took over as the candidate of the party in 2007, that changed. Because he could not believe that his stature in the NPP primaries, he could not get a first round victory to make him the flag bearer. Since then, he felt threatened. And so anybody that had dissenting view, you have to be out of the party. And he had a lot of people supporting him, including Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia, because he had discussed with him that support me, for I will make sure that you succeed me. When he had in fact made that promise in Lebanon, that Alan, you will follow me. You know what? You see now why I don't take Akufo Addo and his people serious? Because he doesn't speak truth. I would wish as I'm speaking, you insert in it and then you pray for the people to hear him. Alan, you will follow me. So what else? That is why I'm saying that trailer in Manila will be so sweet. Any candidate that President Akufo Addo will come out to support will lose for all. Take it from me. Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia will still win with the system that they placed there, and he will be shipped properly in 2028. He will be lucky to get more than 15%, and I want to assure him that. Because there is nothing presidential about him. A presidential candidate who goes about lying. Now they have seen that another rabble-rouser, Kennedy Agyapong, is also in the fray. They want to finish. You remember, these people, they have a way of dealing with these dissenting views. You know whom they put on Alan? It was whom to me. He was insulting Alan day, night, afternoon, every least opportunity. Alan became his trapper, chewing stick. So Alan is no more with the NPP. Kennedy is in there. So let's go and find another person to come and deal with Kennedy. Who else? Adorye is in the picture. So Kennedy Agyapong was in the NPP when all these bad things were happening to Mr. Alan. In fact, Afenyo Markin has told us that when we started this internal primaries, Kennedy was supporting Bawumia clearly, and that is why I say he's not a straightforward person. And I'm never going to support somebody who is this. Because your argument for supporting Akufo Addo in 2007 was the fact that NPP was a conservative party. I mean, the elder must go before the young one. And we were talking about elders in the party. I dare say, at the time that Alan Kyeremanteng contested, Akufo Addo was not older in NPP politics than Alan. In fact, Alan was a founding member of the party, whereas Akufo Addo was not. Yet you said because Akufo Addo had contested President Akufo in 1998, a contest that Alan was not in, it was only fair that he became the president before Alan Kyeremanteng. That was your reason for supporting Akufo Addo. You supported him in 2010, supported him in 2014, and fortunately 2016, candidate Akufo Addo won to become president. So if by your own principal position, it was conservative party, and you support who is older, and your older definition is the one that contested in the last election, then 2023, if we were going to go into another primaries and you were not in the contest or race, who would have been your candidate? Obviously Alan Kyeremanteng. But this man, we are told by Afenyo Markets, which he has not come to deny, that he was supporting Mahamadu Bawumia. So clearly, he's not somebody that you can trust. Now, guess what, Senator? You can't tell me tomorrow that all these while that have known you, you have never expressed any intention of becoming a president. Tomorrow, when I come here, you say, oh, you know I want to be president. I'm going to be a president. And you think I'll support you. I won't do that. Kennedy Agyapong from nowhere, when Allah had the surveys, the research that the government itself had commissioned the national security to do, had realized that Annan had taken over the grassroots. And in spite of the money they had, the government machinery, it was going to be difficult for Bawumia to beat Annan toe to toe. They said they would need someone who had the grassroots within his grips to go and destabilize Alan there so that Bawumia will go. That was how come Kennedy Agyapong decided, all of a sudden, from nowhere, said, I want to contest as the president of the land. We had done a do also walk in Kumasi, and I'm sure you have the videos of those events. The whole Kumasi came to a standstill because of Alan. They saw it, they said, no, Kennedy Agyapong has to go in there and then destabilize people. They made people to contest, go and buy form, so that the numbers will move from 5 to 10, and then by NPP's constitution, you have to, that there was a superior human being coming. Who was that person? Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia. So he had to stop everything. We will be going on a campaign. Any region we went to, the regional executives abandoned Alan. One party. A party that regional executives, regional chairman decided to go and endorse one candidate. Dr. Mahamadu Bawumia. So clearly, they had never meant well from day one. And this is the beginning of the problem. They haven't seen anything yet. You see, you cannot commit such a blunder. You cannot cause a whole generation of family within the NPP that pain and think that you can use these skirmishes to solve it. No, the deeper problem is there. We will get there. We haven't gotten to the issue of Alan yet. Now they are dealing with Adorye and Kennedy Agyapong. This is not an issue. Kennedy Agyapong. What is the issue about that? The real issue is why and how the party sat down for Akufo Addo together with Bawumia to do what they did to Asante Bediatuo. So if you go and stand somewhere and talk about unity, do you know unity? Do you know peace? There can never be peace without justice. All the people that you wronged in the party, you have not made any effort to go back and first of all confess your sins. They hadn't done any of it. All that we hear is that thank you Ghana for booting us out in power. The Ghanaians are very happy that you are thanking us. We are very grateful that you have a
page and then pulled it
I do too. So weak a leader, so weak, so petty. That man is so petty. You see, unfortunately, he doesn't know. My wife's sister was working at the Ministry of Education as a protocol officer. He never knew, and I made sure my wife would she's my wife anyway. Yeah, would never let him know that she knows me. My wife's sister was working under NAPO. When everything went to that ministry, he took everybody that worked under NAPO as being a strong supporter of NAPO. Meanwhile, my wife's sister was employed during NDC's time. A mere civil servant. She doesn't have political affiliation. She was the protocol officer. They were traveling. Her name was in, I do look at the name, Ruth. She used pen to cancel it. Ruth, Ruth, forgive me, this my mouth. Use pen to cancel the name. What was her offense? She worked under NAPO. Such a petty person. Look, he was the reason. There was a time, Kevin Taylor was sitting in America fighting me that I have used his name to go and collect money from Petition. For Christ's sake. He was dying in his house because Kevin Taylor was sitting in America bombarding him in Ghana. I called him and said, Minister, what is the issue? He poured everything. He hadn't even spoken to me before. He poured everything. I said, no. This can't be. I said, I will defend you. I went to him to give me the information. He thought I was one of those communicators that would come and say, I look for... No, I'm not interested in that. I told him that if I'm a communicator of the NPP and I can't defend you based on good reasons, then there is no need for us to have a communication wing. So I had to take the battle and fight Kennedy, what's the name? Taylor. And Taylor's his elder brother was my classmate. So I called his brother. That what your brother is doing over there is not something that is good. Because on the face of the evidence, it does not support what he's saying. Then he went there, I'm using this name. Which name do you have for me to use to go and take money? And so he should not even make any attempt because he doesn't have that temperament. Being a president is a serious business. Then I hear Patrick Yabuama is also interested. So let all the names come. The first person to question him, because we are not here to be entertaining any president that will be so what do you call it, so stubborn to flout the constitutional provisions we have. So it means it is pure politics. As we speak, has anybody pronounced the former CJ or the embattled CJ as guilty?
No.
So on what basis would any so they don't even believe in the rule of law? A committee has been set up that the CJ must go and meet the committee. Now the NPP is saying that the reasons carried in the petitions are so hollow, bogus. Very good case. Help the woman with your lawyers, with witnesses to go and meet the committee and then let the woman explain herself. Why would you go on a demonstration? What do you think the woman has done wrong that you are afraid that she will meet the committee? You see, the actions and inactions of the party is further fueling the perception that the woman was dining and eating with the New Patriotic Party. When this matter came up, The first person to have gone to court was Vincent Ekosefua, a member of the New Patriotic Party. His lawyer, Godfrey Dame. And the first relief that they were seeking was that the president must make the petition available to the Chief Justice. Ekosefua had not been petitioned. How did you know that the Chief Justice had not received her copy? Were you having some meetings with the Chief Justice? So clearly, you are rather making matters worse for the Chief Justice. But I'm saying that after their demonstration, I'm also going to demonstrate. Operation Defend the Constitution. That demonstration will also come on. Because you see, if we don't protect the sanctity of this country, people will take us for a ride. That on the altar of politics, the same playbook, they will demonstrate and demonstrate and demonstrate, pour in more lies, and then win the souls and minds of people. When, as a matter of fact, the movement for change will very soon metamorphose into a political party, and we will take over from the New Patriotic Party. Here I'm inviting reasonable views within the NPP to join our party. Doctor, you come to our party and we make you a candidate at Anya Sotu, and you weigh handsomely. So, Senator, it is obvious that the once beautiful party called the New Patriotic Party, can you imagine when we were on campus? It was very difficult to see any beautiful woman supporting NDC. I tell you.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Really? It was beautiful.
Beautiful. All the beautiful ones, yes, I have NPP. The person doesn't know how many clue about NPP. Say, I have NPP. Even the gentlemen, they didn't want to associate with the NDC, so it was a violent party. Now, who can boldly say that this NPP represents the true ideals and principles that people died for? In 1996, I was in a rally at Bekwai. I saw a truckload of sand run through human beings. NPP rally, they died.
You waiting for winning and someone about beto yapono so make out say so we don't subscribe to channel idea but more than say over subscribe. Now while like video don't give us a thumbs up now fe share my wo for so now when you be here now and somewhere koso e wo Ghana memoir also betimi atchere wadwen afa ye some way nyina ho e wo comment box mu obeti me ka bi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.